We're going to take a look at how to set up a customer in QuickBooks. From the home screen, you can click on the Customer Center, and that'll pull up a screen here that shows you all your customer names. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, you have a grid of all the different types of transactions for this particular customer that's highlighted. So you can see when we click on these, you can see invoices and payments, etc. So from this screen, we can select new customer and job. If I'm adding a new customer that's brand new to the firm or the company, I'm going to select new customer. If I'm adding a job, as you can see here, for Mike, he has 2 jobs that we've set up. Where for Adam's Candy Shop, there's just one customer set up there, and there's never been a job specifically set up for it. So you can use jobs to track certain projects for customers. But we're going to look at setting up just a customer here. So we're going to click on New Customer and Job, and then New Customer. And then this is just a little thing that's new to QuickBooks 2010 where we can add and edit multiple lists. But we'll do another video on that at another time. So from this screen, we can set up our customer. And if the customer you are setting up has an open balance with you, an opening balance that we were just new to QuickBooks and we're just setting up our QuickBooks file, and maybe they owe you $40 or $100 or whatever, we would enter that here. But we're going to say that this is just a brand new customer to us, and then I'll usually just highlight the customer name, copy that down to company name, and then we'll enter in a address. And you can enter in a contact name and a phone number. I'll put a fax in. Alternate phone, alternate contact. We could populate that if we had one. If you have a CC that you want to carbon copy anybody on, we can add that. And then here, there's an opportunity to enter in the bill to address. And then some companies, they may have a ship to address where the accounting departments over here at a different location for the bill to, and then we need to, if you're sending merchandise or whatever, maybe we need to ship the merchandise to another location. So we have that possibility to add a different address. If we take a look at this additional info tab and take a look at these fields here, type, we can set up different types of customers, be it vendor or commercial or residential. That's going to be just very specific to your specific company, so we won't really get into that a whole lot because that could just be a whole myriad of different possibilities there. Terms, when do we expect this customer to pay us by? What are the payment terms? So we'll say that he's net 30. If you have a rep set up, you can go ahead and assign the rep to this customer. Preferred send method, do they want you to email the invoices, mail them? So we're going to say email. I highly recommend emailing invoices as you take they'll just get to the customer quicker and we can improve cash flow. And is this customer, do they need to pay sales tax or are they a tax exempt entity? We can select that here. And then you can enter a resale number if they were tax exempt. Okay, let's come up here to price level. Now this is a really interesting feature in QuickBooks. You can imagine if you're setting up a customer that you do a lot of business with, you may be willing to give them, say, a 10% break on price. Because of the volume they do. So you might charge them 10% less than you would your standard customer. So we can set up a price level that is for volume purchasing or something like that. And then whenever somebody goes in and sets up an invoice, it'll automatically reduce the price for the item by 10%. Now the customer's not going to see that. So if you want to build goodwill with the customer, showing them that you've discounted everything 10%, you have to do that another way. But this will do it automatically for you. That way you don't forget. So there's a couple ways to do it, depending on what your goal is. If you want to have QuickBooks do it automatically, this is the way. But if you want the customer to be able to see that, then you need to look at setting up a discount as an item in QuickBooks. And custom fields, this is a very, very powerful tool here. We can click on this and you can see here there are different, you can just customize this any way you want, because QuickBooks knows that with all these different companies out there, everybody wants to track something differently on their customers. And so you just come through here and enter in whatever you're wanting to track, and then tell it if you're wanting to track that for customers, for vendors, employees, or all three, or two of the three, or whatever. And then payment info, if you set up an account number for this customer, we can enter that in there. And the credit limit, this is a good feature here. Let's say for a bill, anytime we want to extend credit up to $1,000, we'll say. And so if Bill's sitting there with an open balance of $990 and he's wanting us to invoice him, or he asks us to do some work for him, that's going to cost, let's say $250, QuickBooks will pop up a warning and tell us that will put him over the credit limit that we have set up for him. So it'll warn you. You can override it and go ahead and enter it in, but at least it'll alert you to the fact that you're nearing, or you're at, that credit limit that you have pre-established for your customer. Preferred payment method, that's pretty self-explanatory there, whether they pay by check, cash, credit card, etc. And then there's a opportunity to keep the credit card number on file. Depending on the access you give to employees, this information may not be visible. And then the job info, we can select from a number of things, if it's pending, awarded, in progress, closed, not awarded, etc., and track start dates and end dates, etc., and give it a job description. And that's it.